Brad Wright from the Single Malt Whisky Club here, and hasn't it turned gloriously cold? Good thing we've got a couple of absolute winter warmer whiskies for you this June. Our malt of the month for June is the very last peated ever to carry the Arran name. A limited edition special release, the Arran Barrel Bonfire. 11 years old, 50% ABV, full bourbon cask maturation with first fill quarter cask finish. And for those of us who don't like peat, well, we have an 11-year-old, fully sherry matured, 50% ABV space cider that is guaranteed to please our peat-averse members. Now, the Barrel Bonfire from Arran. This is the second part of a 4-part signature series. We haven't been able to get the first part, but we are definitely still trying to get the third and fourth parts of this 4-part series. All the casks in the signature series have been hand-picked by distillery manager Stuart Bowman. And in his words, the signature series is a selection of Arran single malts which showcase the diversity of their spirit and the values which are important to them. So the Arran Barrel Bonfire represents the end of an era at Arran in a couple of ways. Firstly, as I said, this is the final peated offering to come out of Arran ever. Since these casks were filled, no more peated spirit has been produced under the Arran name at the Arran's Locranza distillery. In fact, all distillation of peated spirit is now carried out at Locranza's sister distillery, Lag, and is sold under the Macramore and Lag labels. The other aspect of this whiskey that makes it special is the use of the quarter casks from Cavall Distillery in the USA for the second half, 5.5 years of the maturation. These 115-litre ex-bourbon casks were custom made at Cavall for eventual use in Locranza's maturation program. So no more of these special barrels have been filled since, making this release, I guess, doubly unique. But how does it taste? On the nose, yep, it's peated and no fooling. There's big tar, there's bogan burnouts and band-aids by the bucket load here. Yet there's a seriously lusciously sweet, like grilled pineapple sweet background note, and a handful of jasmine flowers to boot. The palate, oh, it's so oily, rich, and decadent on the palate. Yum. Huge stewed fruits that really dominate those peat notes. In fact, all those classic tarry, iodine notes, sort of so strong in the nose, are remarkably subdued on the palate with the sweeter, creamier sort of side victorious. Peaches and cream, lovely vanilla, candied peel, with campfire notes around the edges. And the finish, it's like another 180-degree turn as the peat returns, with all those peaty num-nums to chew on as it fades over a generous, lengthy finish. Oh, yum. Those classic peat notes seem to evolve through all their various forms with flashes of that creamy sweetness bursting through the smoke. Yum. Oh, yum. This is an absolute belter of a whiskey. Such fantastic, almost textbook balance between sweet and peat that keeps you guessing what it'll throw at you right up to the very end. There's all the oil smoke tarry hospitals you could ask for, dancing with a luscious swirl of vanilla, fruit mints, and creamy custard. So big, so good. Yum. Right, for those of us who don't like peated whiskey, there are some, we know, we have an alternative 11-year-old 50% ABV bottling just for you. 100% single cask sherry matured space cider from Indie Bottler's Rolling Cask. The 2010 Linkwood, aged 11 years. Now, you may remember a few months ago, we offered the Rolling Casks 19-year-old blended malt, and it was massively well received. This one, like our malt of the month, is also 11 years old. It's also bottled at 50% ABV, and this one fully matured in a single sherry butt. Now, having a look, this whiskey is an awesome example of why we don't judge whiskey by its colour alone. As you can see, this is a fair bit lighter in colour than the Arran Barrel Bonfire. This one, an ex-sherry matured, and this one bourbon matured. So you'd expect the opposite, really, wouldn't you? You'd expect this one to be the darker and this one to be the lighter, but it's not so. You would normally expect the opposite in a sherry bourbon colour-off. So the proof's not in the colour. The proof is in the taste. So let's have a taste, shall we? On the nose, the Linkwood, oh, it's rather delicate and herbaceous on the nose at first pour, but give it a bit of a warm-up. And it soon opens up and deepens with that bit of warmth in the glass. Some lovely fruit aromas emerging. Pineapple, plums. There's some strawberries and cream lollies there, and all with a backdrop of a sort of a nice leathery note. On the palate, yum. Super sweet and viscous in the first impression. Initial burst of creamy sweet fruit, and then that pepper sort of builds and crescendos with waves of dates and prunes, fruit mints crashing through the cracks. The finish is deliciously peppery. Waves of pepper come and go, rise and fall as dark chocolate, espresso coffee, and also the sense of unburnt cigar tobacco sort of wafting through. This is delicious, fruity, good long chewy finish, all with a nice French oak sort of pepper spice that keeps the sweetness in check without being overwhelming. Look, as I said, it doesn't look like a sherry bomb, but it has all the flavour of one. So, peat freak or sherry lover, we have got you covered for the cold snap. The last of its kind, a peated Arran Barrel Bonfire limited special edition, exclusive to the Single Malt Whisky Club, I think I forgot to mention, or a sherry matured Linkwood. Both 50% ABV, both 11 years old, and both going in my belly. I'm Brad Wright. Until next month, Slej var.